Hi, I am Kalyan Reddy Daida and I will be your instructor on this course Terraform on AWS with IaaS, DevOps and SRE. So as part of this course, we will start with very basics of Terraform and move to advanced implementation in AWS. So let's see that on a high level. So on Terraform on AWS course, we primarily follow the real world approach here. Okay, so in addition to that, we will have a step-by-step GitHub documentation available for every module whatever we are going to implement, and we are going to build the AWS infrastructure in a incremental way, and we reach the complex state by doing it in a step-by-step manner. So if we see here, so initially we will focus on learning the Terraform fundamentals. Okay, so Terraform commands, language basics, Terraform settings, providers, resources, variables, data sources and resource meta arguments. So once we spend considerable amount of time on learning the basics, close to 4 hours, then we will move on to go ahead and then implement the real world demos. So there you will start with AWS VPC 3-tier architecture build out using Terraform. So once that is completed, so those configurations you will leverage and then add additional stuff there, like adding EC2 instances and then security groups. So once that is completed, you will move to the next step, and the next level is adding the classic load balancer for whatever we have built. So you built a 3-tier architecture and then you have put the EC2 instances in your private subnet, and then you also created the security groups, and now you will create a classic load balancer for those EC2 instances. In addition to that, so instead of classic load balancer, now you will explore more about the trending load balancer in AWS, which is application load balancer. So you will build the basic application load balancer related Terraform configuration, and then move on and then incrementally building with various use cases related to application load balancer. So which is nothing but ALB context path based routing and ALB host header based routing. So these things you are going to implement and then test it. And for these things, so equivalent resources, if you want to test the host header based routing, you also need the AWS Route 53 and then ACM related services, which is nothing but certificate manager. So those also you are going to code here using Terraform, and you are also going to implement ALB custom HTTP header routings and then redirects, and also query string related redirects. So from there you will move on and then implement a one end-to-end use case. Okay, so which is nothing but AWS DNS to DB implementation. So the request comes to AWS from Route 53 DNS until it reaches the RDS DB. So the entire use case you are going to build and implement using Terraform. And then after that you will move on to improvising your area where earlier you are using the basic EC2 instances. So you will remove these EC2 instances concept, and then you will introduce the auto scaling with launch configuration concept. So once you implement auto scaling with launch configuration, so you feel like launch configuration is a legacy one, and then there is a latest one available which is like launch templates. So also implement the Terraform configuration with launch templates. So from there you will move on and then also implement the AWS network load balancer with TCP and TLS options, so that you have covered the classic load balancer, application load balancer and then network load balancer of AWS using Terraform. And next you will move on to implementing the CloudWatch alarms for ALB, which is application load balancer, and for auto scaling groups, and also CIS. Okay, CIS is nothing but Center for Internet Security. So on AWS there are certain settings, close to 14 to 15 you need to do on your AWS cloud account and implement those related monitoring. So that related CIS monitoring also you are going to implement. Okay, and in addition to that, so far whatever you have learned is with the public registry modules, and then Terraform resources. So you will leverage a public registry, and using that public registry module, how to build the local modules and how to use them as local modules in a secured infrastructure, you are going to learn here. From there, you will move on and then build a local module from scratch. Okay, so once you build that, you will move on to something called, you will learn about the Terraform remote state storage for AWS provider using AWS S3 and DynamoDB. So once that is completed, another important thing which you need to learn here is Terraform remote state data source. This data source is going to play a key role in the real world approach. So when you have multiple projects, how you are going to share the Terraform related data across different Terraform projects. So here you can use remote state data source and then do that. So that one you are going to implement in such a way that, so you will create a project one with VPC 3-tier architecture, and the other project which is like application related project with auto scaling with launch configurations and then application load balancer. So from project 1 to project 2, how you will access the data using remote state data source, you are going to see practically in that section. And finally, you are going to implement the infrastructure as code DevOps with AWS code pipeline for Terraform configurations or a Terraform project. So that one also you are going to implement with multiple stages with a manual approval in between them. Okay, so this is what we are going to learn as part of this course. And in addition to that, so if you want to see in each of these things, right, what we are going to do in the introduction itself, so you can move on with the next things of this lecture. Okay, but if you are satisfied here, and then if you want to move on with the implementation of this course, you can skip from here and then move on to the next lecture. So most of my students ask for the detailed introduction. So for them, I'm going to continue from here on with all the slides what they are going to experience as part of this course. So we will start with a basic Terraform workflow, and we will understand about what is Terraform init, validate, plan, apply, and then destroy commands as a basic thing. And then we will also learn about different Terraform blocks available at the top level of Terraform and understand about them and then implement them from basic perspective. Okay, so data sources block, modules block, input, output, and then local values, all these blocks you will learn. Okay, and from there you will move on to learn about meta arguments of a resource, which is nothing but resource meta arguments like count and then for each, and data source concepts and lists and then maps, for loops, all these concepts you are going to learn before getting into real world implementation. So all these things you will implement and then learn, and then this might take close to 4 hours in the initial part, the Terraform fundamentals section. Okay, so you learn Terraform basics, Terraform settings, providers, resources, input variables, data sources, output values, and loops, meta arguments, all these things you are going to learn. So once you are very good hands-on with Terraform, then you will move on to the real world implementation. So which is nothing but you will write the Terraform configuration for a AWS VPC 3-tier architecture. So before going and writing the Terraform configuration, so you should know how to implement that VPC, creating a VPC and creating a NAT gateway, all those things. Okay, so what you will do is, first you will build a VPC manually using management console, and then you will move on with implementing it using Terraform. So over the process, you will learn about Terraform private public registry modules, local values, Terraform variables, Terraform version constraints, and how to organize Terraform at the production grade style. So you are going to learn, and accordingly you are going to build a VPC with public subnets, private subnets, and private subnets for databases. In addition to that, you are going to have a NAT gateway in the public subnet, for private subnet EC2 instances, outbound communication. Okay, so this is what we are going to build as part of VPC 3-tier architecture. So moving on, so there will be something called VPC plus EC2 instance plus security groups. Okay, so as part of this section, so you will build private EC2 instances here and then provide the user data for a sample application here. In addition to that, you are also going to have a Bastion EC2 instance to connect to these EC2 instances. And in addition to that, you will also learn about the meta argument depends on and a Terraform null resource. And during this process only, you will learn Terraform provisioners concept like Terraform file provisioner, remote exec provisioner, and then local exec provisioner. So you will build everything, means like you will leverage the previous VPC 3-tier architecture, and then you will deploy your EC2 instance related Terraform configurations for private subnets and also one EC2 configuration for a public subnet. So from here on, you will move to the next slide here. Okay, so here this is a one slide I am showing, but for each and every module you are going to have this type of slide which is saying what are we going to learn. Okay, so from your configurations perspective, what we are going to change and then why we are going to change will be outlined everything in detail in these type of slides. Okay, so for every module you are going to have this type of slide with name what are we going to learn. So in that, so these three are the configurations for your VPC, these are the configurations for your security groups, and these are the configurations for your EC2 instance, and these are the configurations for your null resource or variables. So like that, we are going to depict everything in detail and then discuss about them in detail before going for implementation. Okay, so this slide is common, means like will be there for each and every implementation, so you can review when you reach those sections. Okay, for a sample for one module I have put it here for reference. Okay, so now you have implemented VPC, EC2 instance plus security groups. So now the next thing is you need to have a classic load balancer. So you will write the configuration for your classic load balancer related Terraform configuration and test the load balancing for these private EC2 instances. So you will create this classic load balancer in the public subnet and then test it. Okay, so all these Terraform configurations you are going to implement, and then you will move on and then implement the next thing is AWS ALB application load balancer. So once you complete CLB, you will move to ALB and then implement a simple application load balancer here. Okay, so in the public subnet, application load balancer will be there. Using the load balancer DNS name, you will access the sample app present inside these EC2 instances. Okay, so from there you will move on to next thing called context path based routing in ALB. So you will write your Terraform configuration in such a way that you will implement that when the /* comes, respond with fixed response, and when /app1* comes, go to A1 EC2 instances. Okay, app1 EC2 instances, and when you get /app2 context path, go to A2 EC2 instances. Okay, and in addition to that, you will also have the certificate manager used here for creating the SSL certificates for apps.devops in cloud.com, and that DNS will also be registered in the Route 53. So you can access apps.devops in cloud.com will provide the fixed response, and apps.devops in cloud.com /app1 will respond the app1 page from A1 instances, and /app2 will provide from A2 instances. Okay, so this context path based routing entire use case you are going to build using Terraform. So from here you will move on to host header based routing. Okay, so host header based routing, when you are implementing it, so nothing but when you get the URL as app1.devops in cloud.com, then go to A1 instances, and when your URL is app2.devops in cloud.com, go to A2 instances, and when you have the URL as myapps.devops in cloud.com, provide the fixed response. So this related host header based routing you are going to implement using Terraform and then test it. Okay, so from there you will move on to next thing called ALB custom header based routing and redirects with query string and then host header. Okay, so when you have the custom header, okay, C header is equal to my app1, then send the request to app1, and when you have the custom header my app2, send the request to app2. So this is custom header based routing you are going to implement. In addition to that, you are also going to implement using Terraform in application load balancer nothing but host header external redirect 302. Okay, so whenever you access Azure aks.devops in cloud.com, it will take you directly come to the application load balancer and then redirect you to some external website. In the same way, with query string based redirect, how you are going to implement in application load balancer using Terraform. So you will implement that, and when you say like this, okay, website is equal to AWS EKS with question mark, so this query string will redirect you to the external website one, which is whatever you have configured there. From there, you will move on to something called AWS DNS to DB using Terraform. So far whatever we have seen is till the private subnet level, okay. So now we will have one sample application here in addition to app 1 and app 2. So there will be a app 3 which will have a RDS database. So we'll create the Terraform configurations for RDS database, and then we'll also deploy our app 3, and app 1 and app 2 are going to be same as earlier. So here what happens is, when you come with /app1, it goes to app1, /app2 to A2 related instances, okay. And on the root context, whenever you come, you will have a sample user management web app. So whenever you provide the username and password, so it will get the information from the RDS-DB, whatever the sample users present inside that database, okay. So all those things you are going to do in this DNS to DB using Terraform. So in this, if you see, so from Route 53 to database, end to end, everything is using Terraform you are going to implement, okay. So from here, you will move on to upgrading Terraform modules, okay. So far, the modules, whatever you have used in Terraform from public registry has these versions, okay. And you feel like upgrading them to the latest version, okay. So there is how you are going to upgrade them, and then what is the impact analysis you are going to do, and accordingly you are going to make the changes to your applications and then upgrade it, okay. So that's what you are going to do as part of upgrade Terraform modules section, okay. In addition to that, here comes the next things of our course, which is nothing but AWS auto scaling with launch configuration using Terraform, okay. So far you are using the manual EC2 instances here. So then you will move on to implement the auto scaling groups, okay. So with launch configuration. And in addition to that, it's not plain auto scaling groups. So you will implement the instance refresh, lifecycle hooks, and then target tracking scaling policies in auto scaling groups, and auto scaling groups scheduled actions, notifications, and then tests. So all these things you are going to implement using Terraform, okay. So, and in addition to that, so we'll move on to the next slide, which is nothing but in addition to auto scaling with launch configuration, so the same thing you will also implement with launch templates, okay. So, and all these features are going to be same in launch templates also. So these features you will anyway reuse in launch templates. From there, you will move on to implementing something called AWS network load balancer with TCP and then TLS listeners, okay. So basically a network load balancer is a TCP load balancer which is non-SSL. In addition to that, AWS network load balancer also supports TLS listener with SSL termination here, okay. So all those features you are going to implement. So you will have a network load balancer, and you will access with http nlb.devopsincloud.com, and you will be able to reach the A1 instances. And with HTTPS also you will be able to reach by SSL termination here, and then access the port 80 related web server on A1 instances. So those also you are going to implement here. From there, you will move on and then implement the CloudWatch using Terraform, okay. So you will implement auto scaling group alarms, and then application load balancer related alarms, and also you will implement the CIS alarms, okay, Center for Internet Security alarms. Close to 15 alarms you are going to introduce here, so which are very important from AWS security standpoint. And in addition to that, you will also implement a heartbeat monitor using CloudWatch Synthetics, okay. So using CloudWatch Synthetics, the latest feature in CloudWatch, so using that you are going to implement the heartbeat monitor. So from there, you will move on to build Terraform modules locally. So there are two approaches you need to follow. One is build from scratch and leverage existing Terraform modules and change the code as per your need, okay. So you will have two modules here. One module you will build from scratch, and one module you will take the code from the public registry module of Terraform and then use it and then do it, okay. So both things you are going to implement, and then so how you are going to implement, and then what are the changes you are going to make, everything you are going to discuss in detail about this Terraform local module creations, okay. And So from there you will move on to something called, so far whatever you have implemented is Terraform local state storage. Okay, so what you will feel like is my state storage should be important for me, and then that should be in the secure location. So you will go ahead and then implement the Terraform remote state storage using AWS S3 bucket, and for state locking feature you will also implement the AWS DynamoDB. So over the process, with local state file, what are the problems you are going to face, and with remote state file, what are the problems you are going to resolve. So you are going to understand in detail and also implement the state locking with AWS DynamoDB. So from there you will move on to the Terraform remote state data source section. Okay, so this is another very important section from real world perspective. So you have a project 1, which is nothing but AWS VPC. So in our configuration, only VPC related configuration is present in project 1, and in project 2 you have something called auto scaling groups, load balancers, Route 53, everything. So now this respective resources in the Terraform need to be created in the VPC whatever you have created with project 1. So for that to use, means like to reference the VPC related information inside this respective project 2, you will use the Terraform remote state data source. Okay, so this project 1 and project 2 we are going to very detailedly implement in a step-by-step approach, where this VPC resources we will configure, VPC related information we will access here, and then create the load balancers and then auto scaling groups in the respective VPC whichever is created using project 1. Okay, so that's what we are going to do as part of Terraform remote state data source. So in project 1 we are going to have the VPC resources, and in Terraform project 2 you are going to have auto scaling groups, load balancers, Route 53, certificate manager, SNS, IAM, all the stuff. Okay, so that's what we are going to do as part of remote state data source. And finally, so we will enter into IAC DevOps on AWS. So here we will check in all our Terraform configuration code to GitHub, and also we'll create a code pipeline for dev deploy stage and then staging deploy stage. In between, we will also implement the manual approval stage. Okay, so whenever user checks in the code to GitHub, so the code pipeline will be triggered, and that in the as part of dev deploy stage, it is going to create all these resources with dev environment. And then once the dev environment is successful using Terraform, then it will move to the manual approval state here, and in the manual approval state, once the manager approves that, then it will also do the stage deploy stage where it will create the staging environment. So like this, with AWS code pipeline and using the code build service, so we are going to implement all these things in a step-by-step manner. Okay, so the same architecture we are going to build one environment dev and then one environment staging using the code pipeline of AWS. Okay, so in addition to that, we'll also reference our GitHub repository here. Okay, so if you see, from all these are our sections with step-by-step approaches, whatever is present here. Okay, if you see the AWS VPC here, so AWS VPC related C1, C2, C3, all these are our Terraform configurations organized. Okay, and if you see the AWS ELB classic load balancer, its related configurations are here. Okay, so like this, if you move to the advanced sections of this course, okay, so example, you take the IAC DevOps. Okay, so you can see from C1 to C1307, close to 30 files you will have with all the Terraform configurations documented in a step-by-step manner. Okay, so any section you take, so you are going to have a very detailed demo with all the configuration files organized in a super organized manner. Okay, and this entire is whatever the GitHub repo is available for you on the GitHub publicly. So everything is step-by-step organized, and wherever you go, so you will have the detailed steps written, and you can follow it and then implement it whatever the way it is required for you. Okay, so and everything is real time and everything is documented here, including the CloudWatch synthetics and then how we progress everything. Okay, so let's go ahead and then move on with the next lecture, where we are going to implement all these things in a real world manner. So I'll see you in the next lecture. Until then, bye bye. Thank you.